Hi, I'm Susan, Blue Planet Traveler's narrator for today. What a great place to visit in Italy, the 5 villages in Cinque Terre, Tracy and David visited in 2013. Having just found the lost footage, they felt it would provide a good overview of the 2 villages they visited. Better a bit late than never, so here goes. Cinque Terre, which translates to 5 lands, is perhaps one of the more popular destinations just outside the boundaries of Tuscany. Also known as the 5 villages with colorful houses on the cliffs along the Italian coastlines. While Vernazza is the steepest of the 5 villages, it's a photogenic village on its own, and one of the ones we visit. All offer unique and enchanting panoramas of the traditions, landscapes, and culture along the coast of Italy. Yes, you can hike all the 5 villages in Cinque Terre. If you can and have the stamina to hike, do it. It's worth it. It takes a day of hiking across these villages. You've got to wear proper hiking gear, and take note of the sweltering heat in summer. Bring a bottle of water which you can refill, or buy when arriving in every village. You'll see a bit later on what the trail looks like. Another option, if you can't get to all of them, choose 2 or 3 villages you want to hike. You can select any village as your starting point to hike, with most towns being reachable only by train. Over the centuries, people have built terraces on the rugged, steep landscape right up to the cliffs that overlook the Ligurian Sea. Paths, trains, and boats connect the villages as cars can only reach them with great difficulty from the outside via narrow and precarious mountain roads. In the 11th century, Monterosso and Vernazza were settled first, and the other villages grew later whilst within the territory of the Republic of Genoa. In the 16th century, the inhabitants reinforced existing forts. They built new defense towers to defend the area from attacks by the Turks. Cinque Terre experienced an economic decline from the 17th to 19th centuries, only recovering when an arsenal was built in La Spezia, and it gained a railway link to Genoa. The railway encouraged migration from the area, and a decline in traditional industries until the growth of tourism from the 1970s onwards brought some prosperity. The predominant crops in the area have been grapes and olives. Some fishermen were based in Monterosso, but the area's gaily painted fishermen's cottages were conceived in the late 1970s as a tourist attraction. In October 2011, torrential rain caused floods and mudslides. 9 people were killed and villages were severely damaged, particularly Monterosso, Mare and Vernazza. The cafe at the harbor has family photos on the walls of the incident. Given its location on the Mediterranean, seafood is plentiful in the local cuisine. Anchovies of Monterosso are a local specialty designated with a protected designation of origin status from the European Union. The mountainsides of the Cinque Terre are heavily terraced and are used to cultivate grapes and olives. This area and the region of Liguria is known for pesto, a sauce made from basil leaves, garlic, salt, olive oil, pine nuts, and pecorino cheese. Its local grapes of the Cinque Terre are used to produce 2 locally made wines: the eponymous Cinque Terre and the Ciacatrà. In addition to wines, other popular local drinks include grappa, a brandy made with the pomace left from winemaking, and limoncello, a sweet, creamy liqueur made from lemons. It is served chilled after meals and is often used to prepare desserts. In 1998, the Italian Ministry for the Environment set up the Cinque Terre Protected Natural Marine Area to protect the natural environment and promote socio-economic development compatible with the area's natural landscape. Today, millions of visitors visit it every year. Vernazza has a natural pier with an amphitheater shape, making it maybe the most photographed village of the Cinque Terre. There are only a few hotels to stay in, but several B&Bs and apartments for rent. The tiny port is surrounded by colorful typical Ligurian houses, and the charming piazza is lined with good restaurants and bars. We've included a quick overview of all the villages. Stay tuned.
Vernazza. This is one of the villages in the Cinque Terre area. It's just a fantastic day. It turned out to be beautiful. We're just enjoying, just meandering around. Going to catch the train to the last village and back to the shed.
David is about to talk in the next scene.
Stop on the 5 villages tour that we've taken. Behind me, as you can see, there's a big monument there. Not sure who it is. It might be. Oh my God! There's the water. Nearly got soaked. But anyway, we've had a great trip here in Italy. It's been just an eye-opener to see all of this beautiful scenery and the way that people live, and they don't seem to be doing too bad for tourism anyway. The train itself was a bit of an issue, not really knowing where to start or stop, but I guess if you were having to reach somebody at the other end, it might have been a bit easier. But we ended up to be a group of us, I think 7 or 8, all moved along the train track, stopping off at different train stations and towns. Anyway, here's goodbye for the moment from Blue Planet Travel in Burlington. Thanks for coming along with us. Cheers.
Tracy is also about to talk in the next scene.
We're in the last of our 5 villages, Monterosso. As you can see, it's pretty busy here. Not as picturesque kind of village as the others, but it's nice just the same. It's a little seafront area, very picturesque, beautiful.
Here we are on part of the trail. A little bit puffed after walking for quite a while. Anyway, here's the way down. Here's one of those towers. This is the way. And up it goes. On and on to the next village. And here's Tracy climbing up. We're quite high, and this is for somebody that's got a good heart, good legs, and lots of stamina, because you're going to need it to move yourself across all of the terrain here. What's it like, Trace?
Great! The smell of jasmine is just awesome. Oh, it's been so beautiful. And all you can smell on this trail up here in Monterosso, you have to come to the top of this, because the smell of jasmine is unbelievable. It's worthwhile just for that, just to come up to smell the senses all the way up. It's gorgeous. Love it.
And goodbye from Blue who?
Bye from Blue Planet Travel. See you next time on one of our other many journeys.
We've included a quick overview of all the villages. Stay tuned. Corniglia feels smaller and quieter, but is just as charming as the other towns. Sitting on top of a cliff that falls off abruptly into the ocean and is surrounded by vineyards, Corniglia nonetheless provides stunning views of the Mediterranean. It's best reached by climbing 382 steps, though sometimes buses are available on the road. Corniglia is characterized by the same narrow streets and quaint buildings as the other Cinque Terre towns. The main historical artifact, aside from the colorful homes, is some Genoese fortifications built in the 16th century. Like the other Cinque Terre towns, Manarola sits atop a cliff overlooking the Mediterranean. It is the second smallest town in the group, and also is considered to be the oldest. Manarola is filled with the same narrow stone streets and charming colorful buildings. Manarola is a fishing village that is also long famous for its wines. The village's wines were even mentioned by the Romans. Manarola is a great place for hikers, who can take to the hills and vineyards, as well as walk to Riomaggiore, which is perhaps the most famous walk in Cinque Terre.